So I thought we'd speak a little bit about specifically how OzTREK helped us. Sarah actually explained a lot about what OzTREK does for you. And I think we learned about that, but not so much in a point form notes, but more just it happened quite fluidly. Like I said, we were the first time nobody could give us information previous from another parent. So we would be phoning OzTREK almost every day and actually go back. Yeah, we'd be phoning OzTREK and they'd be helping us. And I was so, had so many questions and they literally answered all my questions to the point where then when it came to applying, I said, okay, I guess we're ready. So what do we do? And they were so honest and they were like, well, you can go ahead and fill out this application through OzTREK, or you can just apply to the university yourself. And I was just like, what? I don't understand. Why? How do you make money? Like, why would we, now that you've told us all this information, I can just go direct to the university. But what I found through going through the OzTREK experience, and is particularly through the meet and greet and these kinds of experiences, is that it occurred to me only later on when I realized how much was happening behind the scenes that, Sarah did mention it, that we don't pay OzTREK, but OzTREK does get a finder's fee, which makes sense because technically you can imagine these universities have given our kids a position, a spot. So once you're in first year university and we are paying, at that point, it was like $50,000-$60,000 tuition. You can imagine that school has invested in us, in our kids. If our kids don't like it, if our kids transfer out and come back to Canada or something like that, that university will have lost the ability to continue and fill that spot, because now you have to fill a second or third year spot. It is actually in that university's best interest to make sure they are using a company that is going to make sure that that student is well suited for that university, well prepared. And quite honestly, in my experience, it's almost like OzTREK. Well, it is. OzTREK, I feel they worked to make sure my kid was happy. We knew more kids than others when they were attending, and the parent group is actually excellent. So I just wanted to say how OzTREK has helped in so many ways, but I do feel that it's quite a great community to be part of. Okay, so next slide. So speaking of that, how did we get to meet each other? So this was the OzTREK meet and greet in Toronto, and I know they did it in Calgary and Vancouver and other places, but we definitely attended the meet and greet. And this is Adam, who was the admissions officer who we were speaking to almost daily just to ask him all these different questions. And Jamie, who wasn't at the time the OzTREK director, but who has now become an OzTREK director. But yeah, it's funny how I took a picture. This is before he went down in October. And just to show you how we all started.